All right. So finally, my review, and I have a lot. I have a lot of things. I have a lot of things to say about this show, and it's not very good. First of all, I would like to talk about the plot, or not the plot, but the story progression. There was absolutely no story progression throughout the series. Parts broken up here and there. The pacing was awful. Awful. I mean, when you would think that stuff, especially at the last like 5 episodes, would get explained at least. Nothing, like I said, nothing was explained throughout the entire series. Um, I mean, wow, it's like, how do you fail? How do you force romance in a romance series? I can understand in shonen or isekais, but it's a romance series. The romance shouldn't feel forced. Characters with no character development. I mean, there wasn't really a single character that I could point out that honestly, the only character that I can point out that actually had like common sense at least, but no character development was Mickey. Um, and but anyways, characters were poorly developed. Um, I mean, shit. Like I said, no story progression. Um, Plot holes and inconsistencies. Fights. I mean, you could hell. I almost mistaken this show for a shonen because it's just like there were so many fights. I didn't care. They were repetitive, boring, lacked any sense of strategy. Um, a lot of Deus Ex Machina. And that wasn't even the problem. It was like, okay, I'll let that slide. First 10, maybe even 15 episodes, because it is like a 39 episode show, but it happened throughout the entire show, and I would have given it a pass, like I said, for the first 15 episodes. And then it got into like, okay, we're gonna be more strategic, we're gonna outsmart. No, no, this is basically a shonen with forced romance. Like I said, the characters are terrible. The story progression is terrible. There is no like real plot that it follows. Um, and it's just like, wow, I expected so much more. And I didn't think it would get more. I didn't think it would get worse than the movie, but it only proved me wrong. It only, like I said, when I was watching this show, I was like, this show could have ended on like episode 5. Everything was so dragged out. Conveniences. I never thought I would say this about this show. And also, if you want to watch a romance, just watch or read, not don't watch, read The Rose of Versailles or Versailles. Just read that. That is probably the best romance series. Do not read or watch this. I'm not sure about the manga. Now, see, I said if I can give this anime like a 5 or a 6 in the past, I think in my video, like reviewing the movie, I said if I can give this anime about a 5 or a 6, I'll check out the manga. But this honestly was so bad, it makes me. And don't get me wrong, the manga is not going to be much better because you got to realize that the anime always works with source material. So, and it probably isn't enough for the manga to be so much better. But I don't know. I want to read the manga and just see like, okay. And also the ending, it didn't really resolve anything, or you know it just felt, like I said, it felt forced. People crying, they tried to make it all depressing and sad, and I laughed at every scene. It was not sad. I was glad what happened to the characters. I was happy. It made me smile. I didn't care because then again, once again, It did not make me care for these characters throughout the entire season or series. These characters are bland and boring, cardboard cutouts of any romance series you've ever seen, and they don't have any character development. I mean, it's like the author tried to step out of his lane and instead of just sticking to the romance, which, he could have added a few things on. Like, it's cool that they, duel and shit. But there are so many duels, like I say, you can mistake this for a shonen. He tried to make it, complex and all that, and it failed in every single way. I'm not sure how long this review is gonna be, but I'm gonna try and make it as short as possible. This is a no spoiler review, as many spoilers as I can keep out, but I'm definitely gonna do a spoiler review in the future. I'm trying to speak fast and get this shit over with, as you can tell. Um, and it's just like really fucking pretentious. The anime is just so pretentious. Look no further. I'm pretty sure the manga is too. And the thing is that makes me mad the most. It pisses me off the most. Is like, okay, this is 39 episodes. It's this long, and it's like every episode felt damn near the same. I mean, characters repeated dialogue. Like for instance, I forgot. I think her name was not Wakaba. What is I forgot the blonde hair name girl. Because you got Athena, you got damn. I mean, y- some of the characters are honestly just forgettable. But you got Athena, you got Wakaba, you got Haim. I forgot her name, dude. And then you got like that one, blonde bitch girl, right? So I'm using her as an example. I mean the fact that the anime and it almost felt like filler, but I know it wasn't because it was like they had to. It's almost like they had to make this character seem tragic, but I didn't care about the character. I did not like her in any shape or form. Hell, the most mature thing she's done is you know go to the guidance counselor for her brother instead. But anyways, um like I said, repeated dialogue. All she did was complain about her brother, and then that's another thing about this show. There are brother complexes. Are you serious? Are you serious? There are brother complexes. There's pedophilia in the show. Like I said, like while watching this, Athena is supposed to be like 14, right? And I'm pretty sure the main villain or quote unquote villain, what is his name? Akio, whatever. He's supposed to be like 18, right? And then I'm pretty sure he was engaged to another 18-year-old girl. I was like, okay, that's fine. Even if she was 17, okay, that's fine. They're in the same age realm, right? Bro, there's and then he not only that, he actually came onto her in many ways, Athena. But anyways, it's just like there's pedophilia, there's brother complexes, there's corny dialogue, and it's just like okay, right? Like I said in the past, in the movie review, I was like, okay, well, I'll give it a benefit of the doubt. I'm like, okay, well, maybe the anime will be better. And now I'm like, okay, well, maybe the reason why people like this is because it's queer, right? And before I get into that, actually, if you think that these two girls had a relationship, tell me why. They had no, like I said, they had no bonding moments together. It was all like, it was really just Athena wanted to figure out her problems. By the time they started, sleeping in Akio's um, house, it they had no bonding moments together. They didn't ever, go on dates or anything or talk anything like that. So I just question. I'm like, okay, because their romance is forced. They tried to make it, like I said, they tried to make it so tragic by the end, and it's just it's unbelievable, and it's not something that I'm gonna tear up to. No, no, you're a moron if you tear up to this. Like I said in the past, if like, do people just like this because it's queer? And I'm not saying because it's queer is just automatically bad. That's not the case. You can have a pretty successful romance, whether it's queer or it's not. Just make sure it doesn't seem forced. Stay in your lane and don't try and make the show really fucking pretentious. But that's exactly what the author did for this series. Um, what else? I felt like that's the only reason why I feel like people, like this show. Either they're queer or they're just emotional and they think that, okay, well, if it's a tragic ending and the characters are crying, then it's an amazing show. 10 out of 10. I swear these were the longest 39 episodes of my fucking life. I wanted to I wanted to rip my fucking hair out. I mean, if it couldn't get if it couldn't get worse than the movie, I mean, look no further than the anime. Hell, the manga is probably even worse than that. But it's just like, damn, bro. Like, where did this? And don't get me wrong, I've watched this more than once. But it's like, please give me your thoughts if you like this show. And I'm not saying I hate this show because like I said, I used to like it when I was younger. I gave it a chance, but it's simply not good. The writing is poor. The romance is forced. There's a lot of there's a lot of just plot armor and plot conveniences, which wouldn't matter if the fights actually had strategy. But and then the story doesn't even make sense. Like like it and then they try and make it make sense with all these flashbacks. It's a mess of a fucking series, honestly. Let me know your ideas. You know, if you think I'm wrong in this review, let me know why I'm wrong. If you are just a biased idiot, then you're just a fucking moron. Simple. Move on. Um, but I will do a non-spoiler or a spoiler review in the future. I'm out of here. I'm glad. Like I said, I'm glad to have at least gotten this review out because I'm done with this anime. I'm not touching upon it. I'm not. The author is just an incompetent writer and doesn't know how to do romance. I'm not gonna ever touch upon this again. I might make a no spoiler review in the future because of dignity, but that's it. I'm out of here.